Good evening, everybody, and welcome in here on the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Tim Henderson. He has stepped away for just a minute, so he will be joining us here in just a little while as we are live at the Fairbury Speedway with the Short Track Rivals Racing Open Setup Pro Late Model Division tonight. And I'm sure we're going to be in for a good race. 27 cars have taken a lap time, 30 cars total in the session, so a really good field here tonight at Fairbury, this short bull ring of a racetrack. Top of the timing board right now is Ethan Bowers. He ran an 11:57 earlier on in the practice session. Second at 11:73 by Hunter McManus. Brandon Barnhart also turned an 11:73. Those are your top three. Practice session is going to be coming to a close, and we're going to roll into a solo qualifying session for these drivers to get to see who sets the quick time here tonight. I have a feeling you're probably going to want to start in the front of this race later on. It's such a small racetrack. It's very wide, though, for how small it is. So I believe we're going to see plenty of 2 and 3 wide racing action as the night progresses along. If you're watching here with us on the Buckeye Racing Network, we sure appreciate it. And if you're here for the first time, we welcome you in. Don't forget, though, to hit that subscribe button to know when we go live every single time that we do. And if you like what you see, please hit the like button for us there as well. Qualifying session getting underway here. Let's see what drivers we can check out as they work their way around the speedway for their qualifying effort. Cody McDonald is on the racetrack right now in that 28 machine. One of the first drivers to hit the racetrack. He just completed lap number 1. It looks like maybe not. Blake Steele, though, up with a 12:72. Brandon Barnhart, 12:72. Let's see, Cody completes that lap. He goes 6th quick at a 12:90 that time around. Blake Steele, another 12:72. Hunter McManus, a 12:57 for him. Really good. Let's take a look at the 26 machine of Blade Wisdom. I know 26 on my time in his scoring, but obviously his car has a 22 on it. Bounces off the wall there. That's going to negate this lap. I'll have to pick it up again on the next one. Jaden Rager in the number 23 machine. Ooh, car got really loose there out of the corner. Might hurt his effort just a little bit. Comes across the line. He's 9th right now. 12:73 was his good lap. 13:32 was the last one. Let's see if he picks up any here. Completes that lap at a 12:96, so still not quite as fast as he ran earlier. Ethan Bowers, he was one of the quicker drivers in the practice session. Looks like a couple of his qualifying laps. Yeah, the one did count right there at a 12:66. That put him at 7th quick. Landon Newman just went to the top of the board with a 12:56 for him. Bowers is back on the racetrack once more. We'll see what he can do this lap. As we get underway, I know there's quite a few drivers in here. If you're watching with us from home, please let us know who you're rooting and pulling for. We always enjoy seeing those messages come across. All right, that lap for Ethan was a 12:56. That is even with Landon Newman's lap. So 2 cars right there running the same lap time. Juan Martinez out on the racetrack turned to 12:65, his best and currently 9th quick with that lap. That lap he was credited with a 12:94. He's going to stay 9th. Trying to see if there's anybody else out there. Blake Bailey maybe thinking about coming out. Still got a little over a minute and a half left of this qualifying session, so there's still time for him to head out there. Looks like Nate Walker's going to go ahead. Bring that car out onto the racetrack. He has Mom on the hood of that race car, so how about that? Ooh, car getting really loose. Some of these guys, I think, are struggling with a bit of an issue. Travis McDonald, number 88 machine, is out there right now. Maybe struggling a little bit with the handling of that race car as well. Does come across there at a 1372. That's going to be good for 25th. Dawson Tone, a 1311, 2014. Reynolds on the racetrack, currently 27.8. Walker just popped up to 13th quick with a 12.70. Dawson Tone improved to 21st with a 12.89. Travis does pick up to a 12.88, 21st quick now. He's going to bring it on into the pit lane. Blake Bailey is going to try to get a good qualifying lap in. I don't think he's going to have enough time. He might get one lap right here. He did get credited with 28th there. So, we're going to roll right into the heat race action. Here, this is going to be the first heat race of the night. Row number 1 is going to be Landon Newman and Blade Wisdom. Row 2 is going to be Jordan Tucker and Ryder English. Row 3 is going to be Nate Walker and Blake Steele. Row 4, Joe Garcia and Dawson Tone. Row 5 is going to be Dean Reynolds and Blake Bailey. Well, we're going to give a check-in and see if Mr. Tim Henderson has joined us now in the booth. Tim, are you here?
I am. I didn't want to budge in and ruin the qualifying session, so I just stayed quiet.
It's all good, buddy. We're just rolling into the first heat of the night. I believe maybe of 4. How many is it showing for us tonight?
It is showing 3 to the feature.
3 cars transferring to the feature. How many total heats do we have?
We have 3 total heats.
Alrighty, 3 heats and 3 from each heat going into the feature race. That's why I gotta have Tim here. He keeps me on track.
Now that they just give me the slip of paper that shows everything. They don't give one to you.
That must be it. I mean, I have to write the admins maybe on after this race is over to try to get some of that that insider info. You know, it's always good to have that when we're up here in the booth. Nonetheless, green flag goes in the air. We're underway here in heat number 1. Landon.
One around.
Yep, the 96.
2 around. 3.
We got a tire rolling down the back straightaway, I see as well. I don't know what car it's off of, but somebody is missing a tire.
I think it's Dawson Tone. Yeah, it's Dawson Tone.
Dawson Tone. Oh, my. Let's go back and maybe see what started this. We're looking at the number 11 of Blake Steele. He got in the corner. He just ran into the 96. The 96 checked up an awful lot. The Nate Walker had an issue down on the inside. The 114 machine hit him trying to slow down. Blake Bailey hit those guys trying to miss them. Dawson Tone loses the tire. You see it rolling down the back straightaway there. So calamity to start our heat racing action here tonight. Very unfortunate start for some of these drivers, especially Dawson Tone losing a tire, but he was able to bring it down into the pit lane, and that crew really went to work getting that tire replaced. We're going to go back under green flag racing. A couple of them with an issue there. I think that was Dean Reynolds Uh-oh, the 114's getting hit again from behind. That was Joe Garcia. Car got turned around. That brought the yellow flag out. I think these drivers, Tim, may be struggling with just speed differentials getting into these corners because some of them are wanting to carry a lot more momentum. Nate Walker went into turn 1, checked up for the 79 that slid up, and then just gets run over from behind trying to miss the car ahead of him, not trying to make contact. So he just got run over. Chain reaction effect there. That was enough to bring the yellow flag out. Landon Newman, Jordan Tucker, Blake Steele, currently your top 3. Or no, that would actually be Blade Wisdom. He's on the inside of the second row, so Blake Steele currently on the outside looking in. Lights go out on the pace truck. He heads down into the pit area. Newman hits the gas. We're going to get the restart here with 2 laps to go in this first heat race. Blade down on the bottom. Jordan Tucker. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Blade got tagged again as he got turned around. They're going to come around to get the white flag. We're going to stay green. Newman, Steele, and Tucker, your top 3. Ryder English on the outside looking in. Landon Newman out of turn 4 to the checkered flag, wins heat 1. Blake Steele comes home second. Jordan Tucker third. And those are your foreshore transfers to the feature tonight. Ryder English, Nate Walker, 4th and 5th. Those 2 cars were on the outside looking in. Very unfortunate there for Blade Wisdom. Ends up coming home 8th. That car got spun around there right before we got the white flag. So very unfortunate for him. Heat race number 2 is hitting the racetrack right now. Row number 1 is going to be Ethan Bowers and Brandon Barnhart. Row 2 is going to be Ty Dickinson and Cameron Tucker. Row 3 is going to be Matt Taylor and Jaden Rager. Row 4 is going to be Landon Norton and Cody McDonald. Row 5 is going to be Brett Wazlowski and Sean Cottrell. Sean Cottrell not going to make the call here in this heat. So 9 cars are going to roll behind our pace truck for 3 spots. Well, those drivers got to take a look at that first heat as they were waiting to run there. So maybe they took some notes. Maybe they seen what does and doesn't work around here early on. Tim?
Yeah, it's very, very close quarters.
How about you bring us to the green flag here in heat number 2?
Ethan Bowers leads Brandon Barnhart and the rest of the field for your heat number 2. Ethan Bowers gets on the gas, pulls away, and Brandon Barnhart slides through 1 and 2, keeping close to our leader, Ethan Bowers. Side by side for 3rd between Ty Dixon and Cameron Tucker. Cameron Tucker takes over the 3rd spot. Ty Dickinson running the very bottom as everyone else is running a little bit higher contact. He's around. There's a yellow.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Ty. He was running the bottom. I think he was just a little slower on exit there than Jaden Rager, and Rager was trying to maybe diamond off of turn number 2, and he was just way too fast compared to Ty. Tags him in the rear and spins that car around, bringing the first yellow flag out in this second heat race. Well, Ty definitely's got some ground to make up now, back into 9th after the spin, so Ethan Bowers and Brandon Barnhart both looking pretty sporty. so far in this heat race. Lights are out on the pace truck. It's going to dive down into the pit area right here. Looks like they did give Jaden Rager an EOL there for causing that accident. Green flag goes back in the air with just 2 laps to go. Cameron Tucker on the bottom looking underneath Brandon Barnhart. Rager with an issue at the back. Or no, that was Ty Dickinson with an issue. Maybe not. White flag goes in the air for Ethan Bowers. Through turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Ethan Bowers wins heat 1. Brandon Barnhart second. Cameron Tucker's going to come home in third. Those are your 3 transfers. Landon Norton and Cody McDonald, the first 2 on the outside looking in. Heat race number 3 is lining up. Row number 1 is going to be Hunter McManus and Tanner Whitmire. Row 2 is going to be Juan Martinez and Zach Rogers. Row 3 is going to be Jason McManus and Caleb York. Row 4 is going to be Travis McDonald and Eric Hudson. Row number 5 is going to have 1 car, and that's going to be Dana Burdick. Well, looks like Dana's not going to make the call here in this heat. So 8 cars are going to start. Hunter McManus with kind of a Scott Bloomquist-esque number on the side of that machine. McManus, Whitmire, row number 1. Green flag goes in the air, and we're starting heat number 3. McManus, that'd be Whitmire up on the outside. Awesome start. Way up top. Juan Martinez is trying to follow him through on the outside, but don't look now. Jason McManus is making up some ground, running all the way at the bottom. 3 wide for the race lead for a moment out of turn number 2. Tanner Whitmire has got the top rolling now. Momentum is on his side on the exits. Hunter McManus is following him. Jason McManus on the inside.
He is making it work.
Yeah, I'm very pleasantly surprised with Jason running the inside the way he is. It takes so much discipline to run that car down there and minding the tire spin and all of that to be able to make lap time. Juan Martinez, he's letting it all hang out, making some contact with the ball and everything else, trying to get into that 3rd spot. He is side by side with Jason. Jason tried to move up. That was almost disaster. He's going to try it again here. Oh, he cut him off and gets spun around in turn 3 and 4. We're still under green.
Yep, still green.
My, oh my. White flag goes in the air for Tanner Whitmire. Hunter McManus second, Juan Martinez in third. Down the back straightaway for the final time here in this 3rd heat. Tanner Whitmire wins heat 3. Hunter McManus is going to come home second. Juan Martinez third. Caleb York and Zach Rogers 4th and 5th. First 2 cars out. I expect this would be the C main. Potentially. Row number 1 is going to be Joe Garcia and Brett Weslowski. Row 2 is going to be Jason McManus and Blade Wisdom. Row 3 is going to be Ty Dickinson and Travis McDonald. Row 4 is going to be Dawson Tone and Sean Cottrell. Row 5 would be Dana Burdick and Dean Reynolds. Looks like a few cars is not going to make the call. Tim, did you get a check? Is this potentially... I mean, this may be the D main, actually.
This is the C main, and we will be taking 6 up to the B main.
All right. You heard it there. C main, and we're taking 6 of the 9 starters here. So on the hot seat, looks like it's going to be Travis McDonald right now in that 88. Dawson Tone, Dean Reynolds, Dana Burdick are on the outside looking in. Excuse me, as I had a yawn in the middle of my sentence. We know Jason was fast on the bottom just a second ago in that third heat. Let's see if he utilizes that line here in the C main. Green flag is out. We're underway. Joe Garcia out to the early advantage, and Jason McManus is going to do just that through turn 1 and 2. Contact just behind. Everybody keeps going straight. Joe Garcia leads lap 1. Blade Wisdom following him on the outside. McManus working the inside, tries to slide up on the exit. Dawson Tone coming with a head of steam. Oh, Jason's got to be careful. He slid up in front of a car in his heat, and that was catastrophe for him. He does make that work. Now there's quite a bit of a gap back to Brett Weslowski and Dean Reynolds. That's 5th and 6th. They've got Ty Dickinson right behind them. This is the battle for the transfer spot. 3 cars all together. If they're not careful, it's going to bring Travis McDonald and Dana Burdick right into this battle. They're making more contact. Ty Dickinson and Brett Weslowski there in turns 3 and 4. Now Ty Dickinson is putting a little bit of a gap back to Brett Weslowski. Dean Reynolds trying to scamper away from that as well. Up front, Joe Garcia, Blade Wisdom, and Blade Wisdom has got Joe for the race lead. Jason has also decided to move up to the top, and 3 cars now going to be battling for the lead. Brett Weslowski had an issue. He's in the pit lane. Unfortunate for him. Blade Wisdom around the outside does lead that lap. Garcia tries a little bit of a slider, wasn't all the way clear. Wisdom to the race lead down the back straightaway. Now 3 laps to go. Dawson Tone still 4th. Dean Reynolds now being battled by Ty Dickinson for the 5th place position. Travis McDonald just behind these 2 drivers. Quick check up front. Now 2 to go. Garcia under fire from Jason McManus right behind him. Bouncing off the outside wall. White flag goes in the air for Blade. Jason going to enter on the bottom. Can he make it stick out of the corner? No, he doesn't. Blade Wisdom wins the C. Joe Garcia 2nd. Jason McManus 3rd. Dawson Tone 4th. Dean Reynolds going to come home 5th. Ty Dickinson across the line in 6th. Those are your 6 transfers. Travis McDonald, Dana Burdick, Brett Weslowski are going to put the cars on the hauler for the night. The B main starting lineup. Row number 1 is going to be Ryder English and Landon Norton. Row 2 is going to be Caleb York and Nate Walker. Row 3 is going to be Cody McDonald and Zach Rogers. Row 4 is going to be Blake Bailey and Matt Taylor. Row 5 is going to be Eric Hudson and Blade Wisdom. Row 6 is going to be Joe Garcia and Jason McManus. Row 7 is going to be Dawson Tone and Dean Reynolds. Row 8 is going to have 1 car, and that's going to be Ty Dickinson. ...16 laps the distance here. 15 cars starting. Are we taking 11 or so, Tim, from this?
We're taking all 15.
Okay. All 15. That would put us at a 24-car starting grid for our A main. So these drivers do get a little bit of a extra warm-up session here in this B main. And plus, after this B main, there will be a warm-up session for the drivers that did transfer in their heats to come out, run some laps, get a feel for the racetrack before we get started in our feature event. Pace truck peels off this time. Ryder English fires, and we are underway. Green flag in the B main. Now 2 and 3 wide towards the back of the field. 4 wide even for a second there. Blake Bailey, Cody McDonald, side by side. Blake all the way down near the tires, working the far inside part of the racetrack. Ryder English, Landon Norton, Nate Walker, your top 3. Zach Rogers, Caleb York. Oh, one's in the wall there. I think that was Matt Taylor. He is slowly drifting back.
Broken tire was definitely off of it.
Take a look and see what happened to Matt. Yeah, just got pinched and ran out of real estate there, out of turn 2 and hit the concrete barrier. Ooh, kind of a hard impact. Almost hit right on the point of that concrete barrier there into turn 3 and broke the right front suspension on that race car. Matt's in the pit lane taking some repair. But not to worry, we are taking all the drivers from this B main, so Matt will still get to race in the feature event.
That is your halfway point in this B main.
Yeah, absolutely. The admins have the caution laps counting here.
Actually, no. They put them back on.
So as we run, the caution laps are ticking down. They will not be like that for the feature, just like in real. This is the virtual dirt world, but in the real dirt world, they do not count the dirt laps in the features. Green flag goes back in the air. Ryder English down into turn 1, side by side for second. Nate Walker, Landon Norton. Nate Walker actually took the lead for just a second there in the middle of turn 1 and 2. Running that bottom part of the racetrack. Cars beating and banging off of one another. Just behind, Zach Rogers, Blade Wisdom. Oh, the 114.
They were 4 wide for a second. Oh my.
Blake Bailey in the 111 trying to make a move on the inside. The same with Nate Walker just in front of him in third. Now 4 laps to go in this B main.
Just got to slide right up in there at some point. I feel like Nate Walker needs to move up.
Yeah, I think he's going to get the opportunity right here if he can keep the momentum high enough. He does. He slots right into third. He's going to make a way on the outside right in front of Caleb York. Zach Rogers in 5th. Blade Wisdom 6th. Jason McManus 7th. Blake Bailey on the inside trying to challenge for 7th. Back up front, Flagman has the white flag waving. It's all Ryder English.
Wow, Nate Walker slides into second, crossover by Landon.
Checkered flag waving. Ryder English wins the B main. Nate Walker's going to hold on for a second. Landon Norton's 3rd. Caleb York 4th. Zach Rogers 5th. Jason McManus 6th. Joe Garcia 7th. Cody McDonald 8th. Dawson Tone 9th. Eric Hudson, your top 10. My, oh my. Awesome racing action so far here tonight at Fairbury. Cars making their way out onto the racetrack. We have a 5-minute warm-up session for these drivers. Before we get underway in the big show here tonight. Well, it looks like they're trying to organize a bit of a 4-wide salute here. And that's exactly what these drivers are doing. How about that, Tim?
That's awesome.
It's very cool to see. It's one of the greatest sights in all of dirt track racing, and it's really cool to see it here tonight. These are all of your starters for your feature race here in just a little bit, giving us here in the booth and everybody watching at home a 4-wide salute. Really, really neat to see.
Wow, that's awesome.
Awesome, fellas. Way to go. We greatly appreciate it here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Hey, you wouldn't think it, but it does take a little bit of planning and a little bit of skill to get this done and make it look as good as it does. Drivers now will get to work in the racetrack some more before we get the green flag in the feature here in just a moment. Just a little taste right here of what it's going to be like when we have all 24 of these cars going green for the first time. Well, Tim, I think we just saw a little bit of a treat with that 4-wide salute here tonight.
It was a treat. It was so much of a treat, I took a screenshot of it.
Absolutely. That was really neat to see. It was unexpected as well. We did not know anything about that prior to it happening here tonight. So Stacy says only the best go 4 abreast. I have to agree. As we got about 2 minutes left, Brandon Barnhart with the top time so far at a 12.70. Blake Steele second with a 12.79. Landon Newman third with a 12.80. Cody McDonald just got shifted down to fifth with a 12.83 as Juan Martinez hits to the top of the chart with a 12.68. Yes, Austin, we certainly enjoyed that 4-wide salute here. Tim and I were pleasantly surprised to see that. We appreciate it. I'm sure everybody watching at home love to see it as well. Well, I certainly hope the feature action here tonight will be the nice cap-off to the show we've had so far here at Fairbury with the STRR Pro Late Models. Jason McManus just set a faster lap time just a minute ago at a 12.65. He's now parked it into the pit area. Ethan Bowers may be one driver to watch here tonight in the feature of it. He showed some speed here tonight. Warm-up session coming to a close. It's now showtime. Gonna roll with the starting lineup here. Row number 1, Landon Newman and Ethan Bowers. Row 2 is going to be Tanner Whitmire and Blake Steele. Row 3 is going to be Brandon Barnhart and Hunter McManus. Row 4 is going to be Jordan Tucker and Cameron Tucker. Row 5 is going to be Juan Martinez and Ryder English. Row 6 is going to be Nate Walker and Landon Norton. Row 7 is going to be Caleb York and Zach Rogers. Row 8 is going to be Jason McManus and Joe Garcia. Row 9 is going to be Cody McDonald and Dawson Tone. Row 10 is going to be Eric Hudson and Ty Dickinson. Row 11 is going to be Blade Wisdom and Dean Reynolds. And row number 12 is going to be Blake Bailey and Matt Taylor. Tim, like we always do here on the BRN, who do you have your eye on for the feature?
Oh, you're letting me shoot the first shot tonight, huh?
Yes, sir. You've let me do it the past couple of races here, so I figured I'd return the favor here tonight.
I'm gonna look towards. Let's see here. Where is he? Can't find him. Where is he? Oh, there he is. I'm gonna look at the 777 machine of Nate Walker Jr.
Nate Walker Jr. How about it? I like the pick. I think I'm going to keep my eye on Tanner Whitmire tonight in the 101. I think he's actually the 91 in the sim. But nonetheless, green flag is out. We are ready to rock and roll here from Fairbury. 3-wide battle for third already. Bowers, Whitmire, and Steele, 3 abreast. Checking a little further back, we do have some good racing action all through the field. One car gets spun around backwards. That's Jordan Tucker towards the tail end here, and more carnage. Blade Wisdom with heavy damage from this caution. Let's see exactly what got Jordan Tucker turned around. Well, he had tried to check up to miss the 22 ahead of him. The car behind him wasn't able to do so. It spins him around completely. The 83 makes contact. I think Dawson Tone's going to get a little piece of it as well. He doesn't hold the brake and just backs down the racetrack into Blade Wisdom there. So Blade getting some heavy, heavy damage, along with a couple others there on the high side trying to miss the carnage. Blade Wisdom does have that car in the pit lane. We are lined up 2 by 2. At the front. Not going to go green this time just yet. Ethan Bowers, Landon Newman, the front row. Green flag goes back in the air. And Newman with a fantastic restart here. Bowers second, Tanner Whitmire third, Blake Steele is going to be fourth. They're side by side for fifth. Brandon and Hunter battling. Just behind them also Ryder English, Cameron Tucker side by side. Juan Martinez throwing his hat into the mix as well. My goodness, there's action everywhere, Tim.
Certainly is. Just action. Every piece of the track. Oh, we got one half around. We got Cody McDonald and Dean Reynolds.
If they gather it up, And they're just in front of the leaders, so we're going to have to watch out because that's going to play a role here getting through lap traffic. Ethan Bowers looking to the inside of Landon Newman for our race lead. Now 23 laps to go. Bowers around the outside. I think momentum may help him here in this situation. Whitmire getting loose out of turn 4. Blake Steele's going to move up to second. Whitmire, a massive slider there to try to slide up in front of Blake Steele. It doesn't work as Steele has the top side rolling so far. Single files on back through the field trying to find the first battle. And there it is. We see Jason McManus still working the inside part of the racetrack once again. He's one of the few cars, one of the only cars that's down there doing so. Quick check back up front, and Newman has got McDonald to put him a lap down. McDonald going to be down on the inside, give way to the leaders to run the outside around him. Be careful here. Ethan Bowers is challenging for the lead, 3 wide. Dean Reynolds, Cody McDonald, get out of the way. Bring those cars down into the pit lane. Bowers on the inside, not quite able to complete that pass yet. Don't look now, but here comes Blake Steele right behind him. I'm not sure what happened to my timing and scoring as it went completely out, folks. I'm not sure there. Bowers and Newman still battling for the lead. Yellow flag does come out. This is going to give me a chance to get my timing and scoring potentially fixed for you guys here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Sometimes it comes with the territory. I'm going to try to get it back up right here before we go back to green flag racing. And I got it back up for everybody, so sorry for the technical glitch on my end. I don't know if we got enough time to go back and see what the yellow flag was. Tim, did you happen to see?
Yeah, it was Zachary Rogers was involved. There was quite a bit of people involved. It was started with, it looks like, the 114 and the 83 machine. Kind of made contact, and then they kind of just collected everyone behind the 83.
Well, it looks like I almost thought Landon was going to go right there. He sure looked like it. Going to at least get one more lap of pacing here. Well, I second guessed myself again. I thought we were going to go green that time, but we're going to at least have one more lap before we get back underway. Newman gets back on the gas. Green flag goes back in the air. Now, halfway in this race, Whitmire and Bowers side by side for second. Whitmire on the outside, Bowers down low. Does Whitmire prevail on the outside? Bowers with a humongous slider. Whitmire's going to cross him over down into turn 3. Quite a big stack up just a little further back. Blade Wisdom, Jason McManus stacked it up out of turn 2. Both cars are going to continue going straight for now, and we stay green. Just in front of them, the 34, or excuse me, that's going to be Brandon Barnhart actually working the inside underneath Juan Martinez to try to make something happen down low.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Whitmire, big slider through 3 and 4. Bowers with the crossover into turn 1. Whitmire's going to return the favor. Out of turn 2, into turn 3. Big slider for Whitmire this time. We got the battle of the sliders here, and a yellow flag is out. Zach Rogers looks like he had an incident in that number 12 machine. Dawson Tone had a big impact with the outside wall there as well. He gets door slammed, the car turns around sideways. The 66 machine of Jordan Tucker was also involved. You saw Dawson Tone with heavy damage on that race car. Still now just about 10 laps remaining for our leaders. 11 laps at the moment. A couple of our big movers. Blade Wisdom's up 10 spots. Matt Taylor is up 11 spots. Nate Walker up 5 spots. He's currently in 6th right now. That was your one to watch, Tim.
Yes, it was. He's been moving up slowly but surely.
Two by two. Newman is the leader. He's going to get to fire first and chooses to do so in the middle of 3 and 4. Green flag goes back in the air. Now 10 laps to go. Steele going to follow him on the outside. On the inside, Bowers, Whitmire making contact.
Muscling each other.
And guess who's going to be taking advantage of all of that? Juan Martinez around the outside. He's now moved up into 3rd place. Ryder English looking to do the same on the outside. And also Nate Walker. He's trying to follow those fellas through as well. Big contact. Bauer's going to go around. That's going to bring the yellow flag out with 8 laps to go. Keep an eye on that 00 machine. It was close battling here out of turn 2. Whitmire on the bottom. It just pinched Bowers in the middle. Nate Walker had to run on the outside, and it spins the 00 machine around. He gets that car back righted, but with heavy damage on the front end.
Man, oh man. Bowers muscled his way to the inside, and they were both just going at each other.
Absolutely. From here on out, we are going to but we are going to start going single file because we are within 10 laps to go of the finish. Green flag goes back in the air. Newman, Steele, Martinez, your top 3. Now 7 laps remaining. Newman didn't get through 1 and 2 the way he would like. Blake Steele is right behind him on his rear bumper. Can he make a move here in the closing laps? Looks like about everybody's on the outside. Martinez into Steele in the middle of 1 and 2. You've got to hit your marks just right here. Now 5 laps to go. Just behind, Nate Walker trying to make a big move on the inside of Ryder English. Nothing doing there out of turn 2. He's going to settle back in line on the outside. Back up front, Newman, Steele, Martinez, your top 3. Walker Big slider through 3 and 4. Not quite clear enough. More contact. He's going to try it once more here through 1 and 2. Slides up in front of English. English going to turn it back underneath him, and there's contact. English goes around off the nose of Nate Walker, and that's going to bring the yellow flag out.
Man, oh man.
I'm not sure what you would call for that one, Tim. That was so tough racing and drivers battling for that spot. We'll see from this view. Keep an eye on the 96. You're going to see Nate Walker throw the slider here out of 2. Nothing wrong there. Walker's on the outside. English, I think, was trying to cut back up in front to get back in line on the outside. And he involves Blade Wisdom and a few others getting some damage from that as well. You see English missing some sheet metal on the right front of that race car. I think the left front also may be broke here as well.
I'll tell you what it is. It's hard racing.
That's exactly what it is.
I love it.
They were battling for that spot, and it was really close there out of 2. I don't know if you can fault either driver there. We'll have to see what the admins do or don't do going forward. But for now, Nate Walker is going to be scored in the 4th position. Newman, Steele, Martinez, your top 3. Nate Walker and Cameron Tucker, 4th and 5th. Martinez is up 6. Walker's up 7. Blade Wisdom, what a run for him, up 14 spots. He's up 14 spots in 7th, so started 21st. Green flag goes back in the air. Just 2 laps to go from Fairbury. Blake Steele and Juan Martinez have to make something happen in a hurry. Get the momentum up as high as you can. Out of turn 4 this time. White flag is going to go in the air. One more time. No, we're going to get the yellow flag before we get the white, so we're going to have at least a green-white checker to finish this thing off.
That was,
Hunter McManus was missing the spoiler on that race car. He had no spoiler left. He tried to move up in front of Ryder English on the outside, and there was no room there left. That spun that race car around to bring the yellow flag out. One more shot here, I believe, at a green-white checkered.
we have 3 attempts.
Well, once again, folks, this is the reason why Tim is underpaid. He keeps me in line. He laughs about it, but he does. See, he knows exactly what's going on. I said this was the last attempt, and he said we have 3. So, we have 3 possible attempts to finish this race under green. And we'll see if we're going to do it here on attempt number 1. I know Blake Steele, Juan Martinez, they've got to get a little momentum built up before they can try to make a move on Landon Newman. So they're going to have to take the first lap just to get all the momentum they can build up. And I thought we were going to go green there for a second, but it gets waved off this time. Green flag goes back in the air. Newman, Steele, Martinez, your top 3. It's all single file right now in your top 10. White flag goes in the air one more time around. Newman and Steele both in the wall a little bit. Steele is there into turn 3. Blake Steele down to the bottom, slides up in front of Newman to the line. Blake Steele wins with a slider through turns 3 and 4. Landon Newman's going to bring it home in second, and Juan Martinez credited with third. My goodness, folks, we have got to go back and take a look at that final lap by Blake Steele. You see, he's going to time the run right here. This is coming to the white flag.
0.06 of a second.
Steele's going to slide it up here. This is in the middle of 3 and 4. Newman tries to turn it underneath of him, and Steele just had enough momentum to carry him across the line for probably our best finish of this early season in the Pro Late Model Division with the Short Track Rivals Racing Series. Awesome, awesome finish here tonight from Fairbury. We couldn't ask for a better battle at the end of this thing. Top 3 stopping on the front straightaway for a picture. Oh man, let's get a look at our final race results here before we get our post-race interviews underway. Blake Steele, Landon Newman, Juan Martinez, your top 3 once again. Nate Walker's going to come home in 4th, up 7 spots from his starting spot. Cameron Tucker, Brandon Barnhart, Blade Wisdom, your biggest mover of the night. Your Hard Charger Award goes to Blade Wisdom. 21st to 7th for him tonight. Jason McManus 8th, Ryder English 9th, Landon Norton 10th, Caleb York 11th, Matt Taylor 12th, Jordan Tucker 13th, Ty Dickinson 14th, Blake Bailey 15th, Tanner Whitmire 16th, Zach Rogers 17th, Ethan Bowers in 18th. 19th is going to go to Eric Hudson, 20th to Dawson Tone, 21st to Hunter McManus, 22nd to Dean Reynolds, 23rd to Joe Garcia, and 24th to Cody McDonald. All right, folks, let's see if we can get a word in with our top 3. We're going to start off with third place finisher Juan Martinez. Hey, Juan, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
All righty, buddy. Well, you ring that car 9th to 3rd here in the feature. You had the outside rolling. Tell us about it.
Dude, I was just trying to dodge all the cautions. That's all I was trying to do, or all the wrecks. And luckily, I didn't hit nobody because past 2 races I've been in the Pro Late Models, it's been I got wrecked in the last couple laps and couldn't do much. And finally, I was able to stay clean of it and pull out top 3. I was pretty happy with it. The car felt really good. Tried to stay out of the wall as much as I could.
Absolutely.
The track was just so slick.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody was struggling with the wall just a little bit because we've seen it in about every car with making some contact there. Tim, you have anything to ask Juan?
Yeah, you were able to make your way through the field a little bit. What was the transition with the track, and how did it benefit you?
I was just trying to get to the top. I knew it was gonna be the top. I was stuck on the bottom there for a little bit, and like the first lap, I got loose at the bottom, and I could have swore I watched every car drive by me as soon as we started the race because I was on the bottom. I was like, this ain't good. And I looked when the caution came out. I looked out. I was 11th. I was like, okay, I'm starting on the outside, and hopefully I can just stay up here. And luckily, I was able to. The track felt really good. It was just really slick. Good racing track, really.
It absolutely was. Well, before we let you go, Juan, who would you like to thank?
First off, my girlfriend for letting me do this. All the admins that put this on every week and take time out of their day to have good racing. Fusion Setup Shop, great guys, like them. They're amazing. Mike Manise for all my paints. My teammates Travis and Cody.
All righty, bud. Well, again, we appreciate you getting a word in here with us, and we'll let you celebrate that third place finish.
Thank you, buddy.
That was Mr. Juan Martinez. Now we'll move on and get a word in with our second place finisher by maybe a couple inches, Mr. Landon Newman. Hey, Landon, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, sure.
All righty, man. You had a strong race car all night. You led a bunch of the laps. And man, if it doesn't come down to what an awesome finish between you and Blake Steele, we love to see it. A good, clean, hard finish from you two. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I kind of ran a higher air pressure there because I knew there was gonna be a little bit of cautions. I mean, it's Fairbury, so I was like, well, if there's a bunch of cautions, my tire won't be burned up that bad, and I guess I wore them out a little bit too quick. Just had nothing there at the end. I wish it would have went a little bit better on the cautions my way, but happens like that sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely, it does. Tim, you have anything to ask Landon?
What just amazing. Uh, Out there throughout the whole feature, you were up front. What was the track like for you, and where did you like to be?
At the beginning, the air pressures weren't quite built up, so you kind of had to stay in the tack in the middle to the bottom. Couldn't go up there and beat the fence down just yet. But once tire pressures got up, I mean, you could run like a slider line or like the middle in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, the cushion was so big you had to run the top. I mean, I'd say it's pretty racy though, slick. Not a whole lot of people can run on a slick track, so pretty fun.
Good deal. Well, before we let you go, Landon, who would you like to thank?
I gotta give a huge shout out to Carolina Sim Sports. They, Hunter, Blade, and all them, Ethan Bowers, they gave me an opportunity to come build setups for them, and I've been doing that for I'd say about a month now, and I'd say it's going pretty well. I mean, can't thank them enough. Trey Mills, all his help on here. Um, man, I think that about covers it.
All right, Landon. Well, we appreciate you getting a word in here with us, and we'll let you celebrate your second place finish.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. That was Landon Newman, our second place finisher. Now we'll get to talk to our race winner, Mr. Blake Steele. Hey, Blake,
Yeah,
Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy.
Man, I've got to tell you, that was an awesome finish to witness here up in the booth. Last lap passes are always amazing. Tell us how you were able to get it done.
Well, we come off of the restart, and I got a pretty good start, and I just tried to hit my lines, and I got lucky and made a little bit of ground, and saw the opportunity down the back straightaway, so I took it, and here we are.
Absolutely, man. It was for sure thrilling to watch. And I said right before the restart, I said Steele's going to have to get a good start and get the momentum up as quickly as possible. Maybe look for a slight mistake out of Landon.
Yeah, um, it was definitely hard to get the momentum rolling quickly because it's a fine line between, you're fast or you're in the wall. So I tried to keep it out of the wall as much as possible and still be fast enough to be there at the end.
Absolutely. Tim, you have anything to ask Blake?
Yes. Uh, Coming to the restart, what's going through your mind? Just mentally preparing yourself for this final restart.
Well, I was kind of happy where I was. I was just planning on maintaining and, you know, giving it all I had still, but not trying to take myself out of contention for a top three, considering wasn't even planning on running tonight. Was going to go to a local track, but they rained out.
Well, Blake, before we let you go, who would you like to thank?
Got to thank Elite Performance Industries, WR1 Sim Chassis, Victory Fuel, and Jason Robertson Knife Sales.
All righty, buddy. Congratulations on the win here tonight at Fairbury and an exciting finish. Go celebrate it.
Thank you.
That was our race winner, Mr. Blake Steele. My goodness, Tim, we're going to wrap things up here from Fairbury, and what a classic. One of the best finishes so far I think we've gotten to witness here on the Buckeye Racing Network.
Yeah, awesome finish. It's 6/600ths of a second.
Yeah, it's not every week we get to call a race that finishes that close. Blake Steele wins a thriller here tonight from Fairbury. Well, upcoming for us here on the network, we'll be back live again Sunday night with the League of Outlaws IMCA style modified division. It is their championship night, so please join us. We'll be live just after 9 p.m. Eastern time for that one. And we'll be back live once again on Monday night with the Regal Promotions Esports Winged 360 Sprint Car division for their next race upcoming. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up for us here from Fairbury Speedway. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night.